It's a big game. It's the NBA Cup, and you're trying to knock out a very good team in the Dallas Mavericks. And well, how do you knock them out? It is by using Shai Gilgeous-alexander, and with his ability to know every single angle on the court, bump defenders, and change his pace, he could drop nearly 40 points on your head. And you may be asking, how did he do this, and how did he score nearly 40 points? Well, I'll break all of this down for you guys, and thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. So the first reason why Shai took down the Mavericks was with one move, and this is called the bump. This allows Shai to reject a screen and go full speed down at the rim. But instead of taking the layup, he can bump Daniel Gafford and use that as leverage to fade away and hit a close shot. If you think about it, the bump is a way that Shai Gilgeous-alexander stops when he's running fast at the rim. It's like the brakes on a car. But what happens when you have a mismatch and you use the bump? Well, over here, Shai gets the ball in the right wing and gets a screen from Isaiah Joe to be matched up against the mismatch in Kyrie Irving. And right when he gets this mismatch, he just goes into the body of Kyrie and hits him with the bump. This once again gives him room and leverage to hit that fading shot. But how does the bump work when you're bringing it down in transition? And well, after a stop from the Thunder, Shai's bringing it down in transition and sprinting full speed. But when he gets into the paint, he knows that he's running at an uncontrollable pace. So what he does to make him more controlled is bump on the defender once again, giving him so much room to nail a mid-range jumper. Most attackers, when they're running at a pace like this, will try to go for a dunk or for a layup, but when you play basketball in a more simple and more methodical way like Shai does, you can get any bucket you want by just using a bump. But there's more to Shai's game, because the way he actually scores with ease is because of his off-ball movement. Shai could give the ball to Hartenstein at the top of the key and act like he's gonna go towards the handoff with Hartenstein, but instead Shai negates that handoff and goes the opposite way, leaving the defender lost and giving him a wide open pull-up mid-range. The Thunder also start Shai Gilgeous-alexander in the corner sometimes so that he doesn't always have to bring the ball up and get doubled. So they set him an off-ball screen, and once he grabs it, he works with the pick and roll with Hartenstein, and once again that gets him more than enough room to nail a mid-range jumper. But the reason why Shai Gilgeous-alexander does so good is that he's willing to play off the ball. Some superstars are too selfish, and while Shai is the complete opposite. When asked why you want to play off the ball, this is what he had to say.
I don't know if you saw Last Dance, the documentary, but there was a point in Michael Jordan's career where he had to learn the triangle offense and playing with not the ball in his hands 24/7. So if Michael Jordan has to do it, I definitely have to do it.
And this is what you need from a superstar, a guy that's not selfish and is willing to be a screener in some plays like over here and pop out off the ball to nail the three-point shot. And when you look at a list of the players getting defended by the best players this season, Shai Gilgeous-alexander is 4th. So every night he's being guarded by the best defenders. So playing off the ball a little bit more causes him to be guarded by the secondary defenders, because they're going to have to go through a lot of screens to get to his buckets. But there's way more to Shai Gilgeous-alexander's game. Before we talk about that, shout out to BetUS, because you can actually go on their website and bet on the OKC Thunder to win the in-season tournament. I'm really liking the way they're playing so far, and when you beat the Mavs, you are a big deal, man. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this bet, and if you want to place it too, BetUS is offering a 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. But as I said, there's more to Shai's game, and it all stems with his defense. He has one of the best hands in the league, and it showed against the Mavericks, because on this play when Naji Marshall is starting in the corner, Shai purposely lets Naji run right in front of him so he could stretch out his hands and get to the hip area and rip the ball out of Naji Marshall's hands to get a stop. Even last year, he showed that he's willing to put in 110% effort on the defensive end, and he was a perfect ball denier. He would chase around Anthony Edwards and make sure he couldn't get the handoff. So when you think about Shai Gilgeous-alexander, think of a defender too. Don't just think of a guy that could go score 30 points a night. But stealing isn't the only thing Shai's good at. He's also good at helping on defense, because on this play, he's in the corner with Naji Marshall, and he could already sense the lob play with Luka and the big man forming. So what he does is that he runs into the paint and helps negate that pass, and all of this is because of his defensive instincts. Even in the clutch time, he's an amazing defender because there's only 6 minutes left on the clock, and Najee Marshall thinks he could get his way inside of the paint, but he's wrong because Shai waits till he dribbles the ball, and when the ball's coming up, he goes in and reaches in for the ball and gets the steal. What can't this guy Shai do, man? Since we know Shai could change his pace and go from jogging to sprinting, and then from full-on sprints to stopping and hitting mid-range shots, this opens his three-point shooting, and let me show you why. He could be bringing the ball up, and right when he's at the wing, he just has to hit Klay Thompson with a little jab step, and that causes Klay to step back a little bit, giving Shai more than enough room to nail the three-pointer, because defenders think that Shai's just gonna run right by them. But the next play you're about to see gets even more crazy, because instead of hitting a jab step now, Shai comes off a screen and acts like he's gonna run into the paint. But look at that right foot. How isn't it breaking right now? He has the craziest flexibility on his feet. This allows him to actually stop from full-on sprints. And after that stop, he just goes into a step back and nails the three-pointer. Either he stops or he hits these three-pointers. It's just unguardable. Because as he's bringing the ball up, he's slowly running up. And most defenders would think that he's going to go for another step back. But instead he does a through-the-leg move, which leads to an insane change of pace and gets him right at the paint. And the defender isn't ready, to the point where they have to goaltend to stop him from scoring. But let me tell you one thing. Isaiah Hartenstein is one of the craziest free agent signings I have seen for the Thunder in a long time. Going for a double-double, helping Shai with pick and rolls. This dude is an absolute monster. Because after all, when you have a big that can help Shai goes from a great player to an even greater player. Shai finished the game with 39 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals on 5 for 9 shooting from the three-point area. And the three-point hasn't really been the greatest strength for Shai, but if he could shoot like this on a nightly basis, it's completely over. He's just impossible to guard. Sometimes you gotta feel for Josh Giddey too, man. He's just like Squidward looking out the window and watching the OKC Thunder succeed. And after the game, the OKC Thunder went together and did their nice press conference thing with the whole entire team, even though it's gotten some hate from people like Draymond Green, but they continue to do it. They continue to stay together, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the #1 reason why all this is happening. A superstar who's willing to include every single one of his players.
Like the best teams that have played the game, the teams that have won the most games, won the most championships, they play together.
But let me know in the comment section, with Shai playing this good, with Shai trying to get his team to get this NBA Cup, do you think that he could actually guarantee the NBA MVP after this? If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys smash that like, smash that subscribe too if you're new. We're almost at 20K subscribers. So for every like, I know there's a real one out there. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video, and I'll catch you legends in the next one.
Say a word, and I say fly like a bird. I text Rebecca and she brought me Sadie. We fucked to
Just to be the aggressors. In the past, you feel like they punched us in the mouth to start the game. We wanted to make that a point of emphasis, get off to a good aggressive start.